Hey guys, if your person is a Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Rising sign, or you've just been attracted to this reading, this is going to be a message for you. Now, as you can see, I'm in a different place, and that's because with the ongoing US and Venezuelan tensions, I decided whatever pops off, I want to be with my family. Now, I still have my apartment in Trinidad. So you'll see me recording from there because I'll be going down if I have medical appointments or if I have conferences. But otherwise, I'm going to be here. Alrighty. Okay, so what do we have here? Your person's energy generally is laughing and crying. So a lot of things going on in their life. Some things positive, some things not so positive, just a lot of upheaval. They could be experiencing, and because there's a lot of fluidity in their life, they could be experiencing a lot of mood swings, a lot of highs, a lot of lows as things try to settle down in their life. And it feels like the energy of like previous months before this, it just felt like all this energy was here, like swirling around the atmosphere, like nothing had grounded, and it was like a chaos energy. But it feels like a person may still be in that right now. Okay, now your person is Gemini. Okay, so this laughing and crying might make sense, right? Um, you know, Gemini struggle is to find physical, mental, and emotional, especially emotional, stability in their life with these two, sometimes dichotomous, I don't want to say personalities per se, but it could come across like two personalities that fight a kind of tug of war inside Gemini, right? I grew up with two, and my best friend, she's a Gemini. And sometimes you really do think, like in one sentence, that you've just listened to two people, sometimes contradicting themselves, sometimes saying things that are cohesive, but you just know it, you just listen to two different people. Okay, so the struggle continues for your person to find that harmony, to accept those two sides of themselves, and create a stable personality out of two psyches that can often be warring with each other, right? So this is where they're at. We have death of the deceitful. Now, for you to find balance and acceptance, the first thing you have to do is to acknowledge, to see, to truly see, to truly see. And it looks like they've at least done this part. They've truly seen. This is death of the deceitful, where all the illusions about ourselves or world, it's crumbled, and you see it for what it is. And then now it's up to you. Okay, what do I do about what I just experienced? Now, there's several responses to seeing something. We either try to ignore it and pretend that doesn't exist, sweep it under the rug, which the silent generation was pretty good at doing, because they too had seen the world, right, through World War I, World War II, right? They saw the world. What they choose to do is sweep it under the rug, and forget about it until, we had flower power and so on in the 1960s. So again, people who choose not to look the other way and to do something about it. And it feels like, that feeling of seeing the world for what it is, and now at this decision point as to what to do about it has come again. And people have a choice. Do they look away, or do they do something? Your person looks like they're doing something, right? They've decided to do something. They're not going to look away from what they're seeing in the world. They're not going to look away from what they're seeing in themselves. And this is someone who is speaking out, who's confronting other people, but also confronting themselves. I'll pull some cards on that, but that's the message that I'm getting. Let's see the energy towards you. Because there's just so much energy by the heart space. And the third eye, this person is awake. All right, we have sacred pool in reverse. They feel like they have lost something special, something sacred. I didn't want to be redundant, right? Something sacred, something that they won't see again in this lifetime. They feel like they've lost that. And I feel like this is what is also triggering this awareness, this consciousness within your person. We have peaks of joy. All right, so when they think about you, they're not in the laughing, crying thing. They just think about happiness. Like when they think about you, like they're floating on it. I'm walking on sunshine. That's the song that's playing in my head right now. I'm walking on sunshine. And they want that feeling again. This is what they feel like they lost. I think they just weren't in a place to appreciate all the love, abundance, and beauty that they had in front of them, because they had this internal battle that was constantly raging within, right? I don't think they've ever been in a place stable enough to look outside of themselves and appreciate what's there, right? They're fighting the man in the mirror constantly. But with this awakening that's happening within your person, it feels like changes are happening on the inside. And because there's finally a sense of being settled within themselves, now they can look outward. It is a rare individual that can look outward and see the world clearly and do something about it before feeling settled within themselves, right? The rare individuals, okay? And it feels like now the person has found, this peace, this sanctuary within, and they feel, settled within themselves, their being. Now they're turning their gaze outward to you and to the world. Okay. We're going to pull some cards on this just to make sure that there aren't any messages that I didn't give to you. But that's what I'm getting so far. We have Two of Cups in reverse, right? So what's triggering all of this is them thinking that they've lost you for good. And them recognizing that they've lost something special. When you lose the Two of Cups, you've lost something incredibly special. All right. Death of the deceitful. Yeah. They can't even lie to themselves at this point. We have the Star card in reverse. Feeling kind of down and hopeless, but also seeing the harm and hurt that they have caused. Okay? Look them here, in and out. Now, this is usually the philanderer card, but you know what? I'm not getting that in this reading, although they could have been. I am getting that same restless energy, the restless wind. Okay? This person was just never stable enough to really take this relationship seriously, here, there, and everywhere. And look, we have the nomads. This is them. They didn't feel at home anywhere because they didn't even feel at home within themselves, right? So this is what is changing for a person. This is what they're healing right now. All right, the energy towards you is the peaks of joy, right? Wanting to invest and lay down roots with you and this connection. They think that you're a sure thing, a good investment, okay? But they're not sure if you're going to take them seriously because they weren't stable or serious in the past. Okay? All right. Let's see what they want to talk to you about today. What's on their agenda to talk to you about today? What's on their agenda? Our house is a very old house. It's an old sugar mill, so it's more than 500 years old, and which is where I'm recording. We have a kind of annex that's attached to it. And because it's so damp, my cards are getting so soft. Oh my. Okay, anyways, we have here authority. Um, them taking charge of their life. And you know, this the emperor, because this is what it is. He is as solid as they come. He's as solid as they come in, and because he's solid within himself, that's what makes him a good leader, right? And that's why he takes his charges and everything that is under his purview very seriously. So they're coming up as the emperor right now. And then we have again that Fabergé egg, and the history behind the Fabergé egg is that it was made by the Tsar for his beloved. It was a gift of love. What do they want to talk to you about? We have egotism. Okay, so it looks like they were pretending to be cock of the walk whilst you guys were together, or in the past, just on their high horse. Okay, it feels like they want to tell you why. And that's come through in a lot of readings. And you know what? Maybe they weren't able to tell you why before because maybe they didn't even bloody well know. Do you know there's some people that don't know why they do the things that they do? They're just not there yet. So it feels like they just weren't there yet. All right, let's see what they want to say about egotism. They want to know why. But we also have the energy of the sun. And sun is the highest vibration of masculine energy, just like the emperor, because sun is Ra. And then we also have a scar beetle. So that tells me that your person has gone through profound change. Okay? So let's see. What I want to tell you about this egotism. Cock of the walk. We have the Empress. Well, that's you. Now, this could be a mother, but usually, if the mother's a problem, I would see that Empress. Good God, where has this gone? I would see that Empress in reverse. We have the King of Cups. That's emotional maturity, but it also talks about someone in love. And of course, the devil showed itself. Okay, let's see. We have the Hangman in reverse. And the Hangman in reverse can talk about action, but it can also talk about the inability to self-reflect, or the inability to see the bigger picture. And then we have the moon. Yeah, so they are giving you an explanation of why they did the things that they did. And they're telling you that, just as I said, this person did not know. They did not know. They didn't know that it was their wound and pain and baggage that was making them act like that. And the other thing that they want you to know is that they have always seen you and seen your value. Right? So even though they couldn't see themselves, they could see you. And they also want you to know that looking back now, they realize they have always loved you. The other thing that I get coming through is that there, and this has been coming up for quite a number of readings, so it must be an energy right now. Their dad turned their back on them. For some of them, it was a physical abandonment, others, an emotional abandonment, right? And when you don't have the stability of masculine energy in your life, you never really feel stable within yourself as a child. When you don't have that as a child, right, you never feel stable within yourself, right? And sometimes you can become so self-reliant that you just don't see the benefit of being coupled up. In fact, all you see in terms of being coupled up is danger. That you become too attached. That's why the devil showed itself. That you become too attached to this person, and next thing you know, this person leaves you. Yeah. That's how your person thinks. Next thing you know, this person leaves you. So they want you to know that and the moon is about fear. Yeah, so it's all about their fears and their mind running wild. Why they weren't able to see you and how the situation was meant to unfold. Why they weren't able to see the impact of the things that they were doing. Okay? All right. Let's see what their higher self has to say about this. All right. They're just talking a good talk. Higher self. Or is this the truth of how they feel? We have sex. Now, when we get the sex card, this is sex, the conspiracy card. And when we get the sex card, this sex card means that the person is not using sex for intimacy. This person is using sex as a buffer, okay, to make sure and keep other people away. So they may have many other partners because they ain't getting close to you at all. All right, what does the higher self want you to know? Hyper independence. We just spoke about it. Hyper independence. Okay, let's see what's going on. We have Seven of Cups, which talks about having options, multiple options, feeling a bit confused. We have the Eight of Cups, that can talk about our addictions, not being able to walk away from toxic situations. We have the Nine of Swords, that can talk about depression. It can talk about our fears. And then we have the Queen of Wands reverse, which is a karmic energy. All right. So higher self backing up your person, right? Your person, they were in the state of hyper independence, and keeping all their and all all the options open, and not just options with people, but also options in terms for some of them substances, right? They're just doing everything that they could in order to like run from their inner demons, because this is what Nine of Swords can be about. You see the demonic energies there, right? But it's really the inner demons. They were doing everything in their power to run from their inner demons, okay? Including hooking up with people that they knew from the get-go weren't right for them, right? Because as long as these people aren't right for them, they're not going to be attached or fall in love, right? This person can't hurt them. And once this person can't hurt them, then your person has found a sweet spot. Your person has found a sweet spot. There's no risk. So based on what we're seeing here, what can we expect will be your person's next actions towards you within a month of you watching this reading? We got Judgment in reverse. And that can talk about still in the awakening process, or it could talk about like us recognizing just how much our judgment was off. We have Three of Cups. That can talk about a third party. Two of Pentacles in reverse. That goes to the Ace of Pentacles. You know, for some people, they might be facing the justice system. And then we have the Four of Cups, which talks about depression and boredom. All right. What are they going to be doing? They're going to be trying to create balance outside of themselves. But it feels like that's going to entail the tying up of a lot of loose ends. For some of them, it might be they're going to break some sort of work contract, meaning, as in we say in the Caribbean, fire the work, right? So they might resign, okay, or what they call it, quiet quit, quiet quitting of a job. For some of them, there's a third party that they might be linked to. It looks like they're going to be wrapping up that relationship, and for some of them, in order to wrap up that relationship, they have to face judgment. They have to go before the courts, okay? But either way, they have recognized that the life that they are currently living no longer satisfies them, if it ever satisfied them at all. It was all distractions, all of it. Seven of Cups. It was all distractions. That's all they were doing, distracting themselves from their pain and their fears. But now that they have chosen to, face life head on, it looks like there's no turning back, and they're doing that in every area, every sector of their life. Okay, let's see what spirit's advice for you at this time. What's spirit's advice for you at this time? We have celebration, joy guides. Spirit saying, don't worry, be happy. That's what Spirit's saying right now. Or you might have a reason to celebrate in the very near future. We have truth, and we have your higher self coming through to tell you the truth about a situation. And it feels like one of the truths that they want to tell you, or what they want you to know, that it's time for you to shine your little light. And to share your truth with the world. There's some sort of enlightenment that you received, and it feels like you're meant to share it. Let's see, card number 21. And of course, I don't have my glasses, right? But I think I have enough light to read. It says your higher self is present, activating your powers of reasoning and intellect. It asks you to develop clarity and objectivity when looking at your life, rather than interpreting events through the murky and distorted lens of emotion, which is what your person has been doing all their whole life. Strive to see the reality of what happened in the past so you can acquire a more accurate understanding of what's going on now, which is what your person has done. So Spirit is saying your person is on this journey, they're taking it seriously, but there's also things that you also need to confront about your past and how it's impacting upon your present and perhaps your future. Okay? You may notice things that make you uncomfortable or challenge your ethics, especially right now. Ask your higher self to give you the courage to stand up for your truth and address difficult situations at their core, rather than distance yourself or pretend you don't see the real problems. What did I say from beginning, right? So this happens on a personal level, on a global level, on a universal level. And it all begins with us, right? When we don't turn away, when we address the core issues, it ripples far and wide. And it feels like this is what we're meant to do right now, to find the solutions so that the solutions ripple far and wide. So that you don't pretend you don't see the real problems because they make you uncomfortable. Like the child in the fairy tale, The Emperor's New Clothes, your higher self is motivating you to not only see life more deeply, but to also share your perceptions with those around you. This is a time, for example, to address your unbalanced budget and look for ways to cut corners. It's also the time to acknowledge your ever expanding waistline. Damn. And seek out what is really eating at you. This is when you need to step away from your emotions and dispassionately study the problems at hand so you can come to a solution without blame or projection. Ask yourself what the problem is, not who the problem is. Only then can you begin to find real solutions with productive outcomes. Your higher self is sharpening your perception and clarifying your view so that you can make important and necessary changes at this time. As Carl Jung once said, when the diagnosis is correct, the healing begins. And your higher self message is look for the truth beyond appearance. So, sometimes we like to look at who's the problem, right? It's convenient to find someone who's representing the problem to blame. But Spirit is saying, when you look past the person and you look at what the problem is, that is when you can come up with solutions, both for yourself and the world at large. The world at large. Okay? All right, so don't look at the figure, the personality. Look at what the problem is. Okay? All right, my love. So that was your reading. I hope that was helpful. Can I ask you, as an energy exchange, because I want to get to 40,000 subscribers, that you like this channel, right? If you enjoy this video, or you put a comment down below, or even if you've never come to my channel again, put a comment down below. It could be a full stop. You can even dislike the video because that also helps the video circulate. Okay? I'm loves. Take care. Much love.